Hi everybody, and welcome to the start of a new series of videos where I'm going to be discussing modding DayZ, specifically on consoles, although everything I'll talk about will apply to PC as well. But because I'm mainly a console player, it'll have that kind of lean towards it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about, what can you expect from a DayZ console server? What can you do? Where do you get them from? How many slots do you choose? What location should you choose? And kind of how do you manage that server in terms of where do you manage it from? We're not going to go into all the details yet. These are all going to be fairly short videos. So the first question is, what can you do with a console server? Well, quite a lot now. As of January 2022, one of the most amazing things we can do is we can create custom locations, so we can add custom structures to the map in an easy manner as well. So if you look at Cherniris or Livonia and you think, I wouldn't mind adding a few more houses or a castle or some military tents or something like that to parts of the map, we can now do that. We can't take stuff away, we can add stuff in, and loot can spawn in all these areas as well. And I thought I'd also just go through some of the things that I have included in one of my mod packs. So what I do, every time there's an update, I produce a mod pack, an XML mod pack, and JSON mod pack that you can download and you can upload it to your server, and it will give you certain things. So for example, the things that my mod pack do, you can have items spawn in pristine. So as you wander around the map, they're worn. You can have it so everything is brand new. You can add smoke to the map, you can add mist to the map, you can add new toxic zones to the map, you can take away toxic zones, you can add witches' nights, you can make the vehicles spawning complete, you can make them spawn with stuff in the boot, you could add trader shops, you can make weapons spawn in with all the bits on them, you can make magazines spawn in full of bullets, you can have more zombies, you can have less zombies, you can have more bears, you can have less bears, you have more wolves. You could have more building stuff, you could have more food, you could have more drink, you could have more guns, and what else could you could have more stones, more batteries, that sort of thing. However, so there's loads of stuff we can do, stuff that significantly changes the game. However, what you can't do on console is you can't add Steam mods. I think it's quite important to remember that. So you may well watch your favourite DayZ content creators, and so for example, as I'm recording this video, a big thing is dinosaurs. There's a great dinosaur mod out there that people can add to their maps, but we can't add that to console because we don't have access to Steam mods via console. Maybe we will in the future, but probably not at the moment. However, what we can do is a surprising amount, and there is a vibrant DayZ modding community for console as well. You've just got to go on Facebook or go on YouTube and you'll see everybody creating these amazing files. So if you think, oh, that's cool, that's great. Another good reason to have your own server for DayZ is that it can be your server. So it can be your version of a DayZ where you can play by yourself and or with friends, without having to worry about getting shot by someone else, because you can protect it behind a password wall or a whitelist wall. And that's a very powerful thing to have. I think it's a bit of a crime that DayZ doesn't come with a single player mode that you can play locally on your console. But if you own your own server, you can do that sort of stuff. It doesn't have to be public with everybody else going on it. In fact, that's why I started my servers, was because I wanted to have a kind of a sandbox for DayZ where I could play a more exploratory form of DayZ, less of a PvP form of DayZ, more of a PvE version, without having to worry about getting shot. And in fact, what I have now is a series of servers where people contribute so that we can have these PvE password protected, whitelist protected servers. So there's lots of good reasons to have your own server, but obviously just remember there is a cost involved as well. So if you want to buy a server, where we have to go is you've got to go to Nitrado, because they're the partner with Bohemia Interactive, the publisher behind DayZ, and you've got to buy one of those. Now, if you're on PlayStation, you can just go to Nitrado's website, and then you can go to DayZ for PS4. Is that going to let me do it? Wouldn't go to the right place then, would it? There we go, DayZ PS4. DayZ PlayStation, that goes for PS5 as well. However, if you're on Xbox, you have to buy the server initially through the Xbox Nitrado app. So you can download the Nitrado app onto your Xbox and then you can go through it that way. Or actually, if you go into the App Store on your Windows PC or laptop, you can fire up the Nitrado app from within that as well. So it's easier to do it off the web, but initially on Xbox you'll have to use the app to kind of rent your server. So let's go back to PlayStation 1. So then you've got to choose, well, how many survivors, how many slots do you want on your server? And I would highly recommend, to start off with, go for the lowest possible, which at the moment on console is 10. You don't want any more than that. Trust me, on my servers, where I have quite a few people who come on, because people who come onto your servers will be from all over the world, they come on at different times, and you need to have a very high population to fill up, a 10-person server. Honestly, you really do. Plus people are doing other things. Only start paying the extra money for the 16 and the 24 and the 50 servers, 50 people servers, when you really, really need them. And there is an argument as well, is that never go above 60 on a server, because the Nitrado servers aren't particularly good at handling it. So let's say you go for 10 servers, so you pick that offer, and then you've got to choose where you want to have it. And so you can do a ping test. So for example, I'm in the UK, so I would probably go with the London one. However, this does depend on who's going to be coming on your server. So maybe if you've got lots of friends in America or in other parts of the world, you may well want to have that server in that other part of the world, especially as a PvE server, because if there is if you're on 100, 200 millisecond ping, it doesn't matter that much if you've got a bit of latency, because you're not really worrying about PvP. So at the moment, from where I am in my particular location, it's 12 millisecond ping, which is pretty good. Frankfurt 25, Moscow 60, New York 84 milliseconds, even Los Angeles though 144 milliseconds, isn't completely out of the picture. And do they have one over in? So there's one in Singapore, and there's one in Sydney. So if I wanted Sydney, what would it be? 280 millisecond ping. So I probably wouldn't get one in Australia, but I'd be more than happy having any of the ones in Europe, and even on the east coast of the USA, New York City or Miami, if I want for people doing that sort of thing. And then you're looking at it's £8.84 a month. So that does add up. If you think that's £80 a month you're going to be putting into this. So only really do it if you've got a really good reason to do it, or just do it for a short period of time. So do it for do it for a couple of months, see how we get on, see if you enjoy it, see if you use it that often, you get other people coming in, or maybe you really enjoy playing DayZ by yourself, and then you're getting your money's worth from it that way. Now, in order to manage your server, what you're going to have to do is really use a laptop or a PC. You can do things via your phone. The Nitrado app isn't that brilliant at doing stuff, and it's very difficult to edit things via your phone. Now, people do it. They do edit things, but it is tricky, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at basically large text files that we go in and we edit to change things. We're going to be uploading files and things like that, and to do it all on a phone is difficult. So if you have got access to a laptop or a PC, so you can access your Nitrado servers through the web interface, that makes things much better as well. And also, once you've got your server for Xbox as well, you then access it through the Nitrado web interface. You do all your editing through there. You can access it through FTP as well if you want, but that would be my final piece of advice. If you've got access to a PC or a laptop, it makes things much easier than trying to do it through a phone. So there we go. So they're the reasons why to buy or rent a server, what you can do with a server, how to kind of choose how many slots, and then how you should be managing it. Okay, hopefully you found that useful. Remember, your questions you have about running or doing a server with DayZ, please put those in the comment section below this video, because I will use those questions to generate further videos so I can answer the questions and queries that all you guys have. Brilliant. I'll see you again soon with the next video.